Hello and welcome back to my colouring quest. Today I want to show you a flip through of the new Mythical Hybrids special of Colour in Heaven, which features 40 illustrations by Jash Lee. I have to say I am loving this book. I had a very brief quick flip through when I bought this in the shop and oh my god, well, Jash Lee never really fails to bring out amazing artwork, does he? And I just can't wait to colour in this. So let's start the flip through. So in this issue you see like a character and animals and they're sort of merged. So as you can see, she has the animal sort of skin, so trying to colour her skin like you would these guys would be quite fun. An armadillo. So some of them are looking a little bit more chibi, and then you have others that are like full grown, but I like to have a bit of both because I love both of his styles, like his chibi collection book of Colour in Heaven, and then his Gods and Goddesses. They're just amazing. It was Gods and Goddesses, right? Sorry if that wasn't. How cute are they? I've never actually coloured one before, so that might be fun. And then you have Chibi again. Baby shark. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna sing it. Nope. And then a bee. Another beetle. That person's very confident and powerful. Like, it just gives off that vibe, doesn't it? That they're ruling. Bull. I would probably do this red, like red cape, because of the bulls. Oh my gosh, how adorable is that? Look at these little puffy cheeks. My gosh, that's probably gonna be one of my favourites in here. Oh my gosh. And the butterflies. I definitely want to make this page sparkle. A chick. Although it reminds me of a chocobo from Final Fantasy. So probably end up having a little bit of a crossover with that one. You've got a dove. Beautiful page. Dragonfly. I love her expression. And she has glasses on. Like, not many like illustrations ever have glasses on, and actually like they made them cool. Flamingo. That's a very summery page, wouldn't it? Like blue waters and bright pink flamingos. Fox. That's another awesome page. I love pages that have foxes on there. And goldfish. That's cute. Hyena. Oh, they're looking ferocious. Little bit of mischief going on there. And jellyfish. I always struggle when there's a jellyfish on the page because they're not, like, you can kind of see through them, and that's hard to achieve by making them actually still visible. Koi carp. Love it. Ladybug. Oh, that page is just, you just know what colours you'd use on it, don't you? Leopards. I like her outfit, like the armour. She looks cool. A lion. Oh, she has the tail as well. She's quite big compared to the lion. Oof. Octopus. Oh, that's cool. Like, it's shown within a bubble. Oh, I'd find that very difficult to colour, but at the same time fun. Orca. They're having a great time, aren't they, with their orca friends. A peacock. She looks a bit like a genie. Oof, piranha, gosh. Very creepy, but amazing. Like, how would you think of drawing them like that? The creativity of, like, people, it's like never ending. Raven. I could see myself doing it very dark, but then making these flowers like a pale pink colour. Just like the rest of it's going to be like muted greys maybe, with a little bit of colour on her skin. Yeah, that'd be fun. A bit dark. Reindeer. I could see myself adding snow to the instead of grass. Makes you get in the Christmas vibes. Scorpion. You don't see many scorpions inside colouring books. Or none that I own anyway. So I've got a mechanical tail. That'd be fun. I'd do it bronze or something. Shoe-billed stalk. A sloth. Just lazing around. I think they're adorable animals. Sphinx cat. Spider. Wow. These spiders. I wouldn't want one of those in my room. No way. Not at all. Squirrel. I love that. Look at the motion. Like, they're just running through the forest. And it's been captured. That's amazing. Look how fluffy this tail is. Wow. A swan. It's beautiful. Tiger. I love that. Tigers are my favourite. A tortoise. Oh, you can just imagine she's having a great time riding the tortoise, but you know it's not going super fast. Just enjoying a day out, aren't they? A vulture. Oof. A very creepy looking bird, but she's not creepy at all. But you could colour her with some creepiness, I suppose. I don't know, I just find vultures creepy in the first place. A whale? That's beautiful. I just imagine it with like a bit of blue glitter maybe within that lot, like on these water swirly bits. You can see a lot of silver as well. Wolf. Oh, I love colouring wolves as well. The fur is difficult, but I like wolves, so I always find it fun. And she's definitely ruling. Nobody's gonna hurt her with those around. And it looks like she's got her weapon right out of Kingdom Hearts. And the zebra. Oh, these zebra are adorable. Oh, the chibi versions. Oh dear, they're cute. Adorable. And that's it. So that was the Mythical Hybrids special, A Colour in Heaven by Jash Lee. After showing you a flip through of this Mythical Hybrids special, I thought I would begin colouring a page, and I have chosen page 19, the Ladybug page. And I'm going to start off by colouring her skin using the Castle Arts pencils. And I know you might think that's a lot of colours, but that's actually not a lot of colours for me. I like to add different colours to make it so it's not just a block colour. I like my shading too much. So I'm going to start off by putting in the shadows for the skin. I'm just using light layers because this isn't actually the colour you'll end up seeing. It's just what's underneath to make the shadows blend in more than being just like black. And I don't really have a plan when I come into colouring the skin. I just sort of pick my colours that I think are good for this image and just go with it. I don't tend to use the same colour combination for skin on every page that I colour, because I feel like that would be a bit repetitive, and sometimes I accidentally create colours that I actually really like. And then I do wish that I had kept a note of what I used, but then it's fun trying to recreate it, because then I sometimes create another colour that I really like. I've got to make sure that I don't miss any of the skin, because I do that a lot. Normally it's an ear or something, but she doesn't have any ears visible on this, which is lucky for me. I'm trying to see if she has her other hand visible, but I don't think I can see it anywhere. Hopefully it's not. That finger, I'm not going to shade that one properly. Hands are difficult, they always are, and I'm not sure on that position. I've not coloured that one like that before. This isn't a colour wrong, but if you did want to know that this is Mauve Deep. I love the Castle Art pencils, both the original and the gold set. She has a bit of skin down here on her leg before it gets to her socks. Now everybody's going to colour differently, which is what I love about colouring. And for me, I do like my shadows a lot. Next I'm going to add in some pink in areas such as the cheeks and sort of, I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes I just feel like adding a bit on the nose or a bit on top of the shoulders, just to add a bit of like warmth, if that makes sense. And a little bit on her chin maybe. Fingertips can tend to have a pink. And she doesn't have any nails, so it's a little bit difficult, but I'm just going to go with it. A little bit on here, not much. Don't think it needs any down there really. And then I go in with a golden yellow on some highlighted areas. A lot of the time I will just leave this sort of white and then sort of blend out into that, but I want a little bit of a glow, but not much. Like I don't want it everywhere, I just add a little bit and hope it looks good in the end. Because again, this is just guesswork for me. I just have fun with it. I feel like I need to have some here. Right, now next I am going to add this Mars Black, which is actually more of a really dark brown, into the very deepest of shadows. Just a little bit, not much. Get those nostrils. Under the lip. See, I don't know if this bit is supposed to be shadow. I don't know. That finger's just going to look funny to me no matter how I colour it. Again, I'm only pressing lightly with these because I want to be able to blend it all together. A bit here. A bit here. Maybe a bit here. I like how it's coming along so far. Now I'm going to take my peach and just go over those darkest areas. I'm not going to go into the cheek blush because I want to use the lighter tone for that. But again, I'm still not pressing down super hard because I don't want the full colour of this peach coming out. I just want it as to change the colour of my shadows to look more natural skinned colour. And then I do blend it out a little bit for areas that I want a bit darker, but I didn't need that full shadow colour. Put a little bit under her eye there. Sorry, I'm in focus mode. I do feel like there'd be a slight shadow in under this scarf. As you can see, I do take my time when colouring. I like to layer it up. But I love the slow process of colouring. I wouldn't want to rush. I wouldn't want to go fast. I know it means that I don't complete as many pages, but this is the way I like to colour, and I'm not gonna change that. I want to colour to have fun, not to complete 100 pages. I was just checking to make sure that you could see that I was colouring down here, because I didn't actually focus it on this leg because I only noticed the leg skin after I set up the camera. Hopefully that's okay. Actually, I put a bit of that there. Right, and now I'm going to go in with my lightest colour, which is this tangerine, and just blend it all out. Even any areas that I wish to still be white with white, but most of it will have colour on it. In fact, I think all of it's going to have colour on it, because I forgot I did the yellow bits where I wanted the light. gone in focus mode again. You can probably just hear like the scratching of the pencils on the paper, which I quite like the sound of pencils on paper, but you might not. That looks quite nice. I am going to go back in and add a bit more pink into her cheeks, but other than that I think I like it. More on her nose. Right, and now I'm going to get my white. And this, I don't actually have any of the Castle Art Gold white left, so I'll be using my Faber-Castell Polychromo white just to blend those highlight areas in with the rest of it. So the last thing you want is like a rough line between the blend. This probably doesn't look like I'm even doing anything on camera, but I can see the transition isn't smooth with my eyes. Maybe you can see it, I don't know. I don't mind some texture, but most of the time I like to get at least slightly smooth outcome. Put it down here. That looks much better. It's something dark on her skin. I don't know. Go over with the pink maybe. Did I just add that? Was it on one of the pencils? I don't know. That'll do. Right, so that is her skin coloured. What colour should I do her lips? I think they're going to have to be red, aren't they? Because of the ladybug. Right, so I have this spiced red and cherry pink, which I'm going to use, but I do need to sharpen it. I have to say, these sharpeners from Tesco's are the best. Like, they don't actually have a blade, they have this sort of spiral crank. It looks like this on the inside. So, and I've never had a pencil like the wood get damaged, or it's very rare that it breaks and it gets an amazing point. Like, I just can't fault it. And it was like £2.50, I think. And I have to say, I have backups, but I've had it for quite a while and it's still fine. I'm just scared they're going to stop selling it, you know. I've just looked at the camera and I feel like it's being washed out a bit. Let me turn the light down a bit. It looks better. Right, so I'm now going to colour in her lips. Like the skin, I do a gentle sort of colour over the top with the light colour, and then I'm going to take my spiced red and just add in where I want the shadows. Again, this is all sort of guesswork for me. I sort of know what ends up looking like lips, but at the same time I don't really have a clue what I'm doing. And then I would take my light colour again and blend it out. Leaving just that very lightest area. Like so. And she only has small lips, so I can't go in with too much more detail. But I'm happy with those lips. I have no idea what colour to colour her eyes. I'm thinking her hair's going to be black, and then her outfit's going to be like probably reds and blacks as well. I want this page to look quite bold. And then, so I might have to do her eyes like green maybe. Let me have a look at my greens. Yes, I'm gonna go for green, I think. Let me just find the ones that I want. Sorry, these do need sharpening. Right, so I have chosen some greens, and I'm also going to take the yellow that I was using earlier on the skin and just add that in as a little bit of a highlight colour. Because I don't know if I'm going to do some of these dots around like as a glowing sort of yellow colour. But to start with, alright, I'm going to just go for it. And then I will add a bit of black in for the centres. And I'm just going to add my yellow, because you have to add your yellow before, as you won't get any yellow in there. a little bit on that side. Now I'm going to do darker green. Pressed a bit too hard then. Now my black. Oh, I haven't actually used black yet. Again, my Castle Art black has almost run out, but I prefer to use Faber-Castell black anyway. So I just get that in there. And I'm also going to go over her eyelashes, because although they are printed black, it's more of a dark grey. And I don't like leaving them like that. Oops. I think I sharpened that a bit too much. I'm just going to go over that with the black. Also going to bring that round a little bit. Darken those up a bit. Put a bit of black in here actually, in her lips. Nostril. I'm going to take my light green and just blend the green into the yellow, because I don't want the yellow to be obvious, but I want it as a highlight. I feel like that bit needs to be darker. I think I'm happy with those, although I do need to add the very highlight with my Posca pen. I think that's what was missing for me. Yeah, it looks much better even though it's like just a couple of little dots. Right, then should I colour her hair now? Let me just take a sip of my drink. Right, so with black hair, it can be difficult to sort of make it black without it being solid black, but at the same time trying to make it so it's not light enough to be grey hair. I don't know, I struggled with that for a long time. But to start with, I'm going to take this Mars Black and just go over the whole of the hair very lightly. Now trying to figure out which parts are hair and which parts aren't. It's difficult, isn't it? Like I said, this is actually more of a light brown, and I actually think that's going to be hair in there, this back bit. So I'm just going to go with it. Right, I don't think that's hair, I think this is hair, hopefully. This is why I often use a marker base with images that have a lot of busy areas, because then I've got a block colour down for when I go in with pencils and I know where everything is, so I don't accidentally go over areas that aren't, well, hair in this case. But I'd normally take my time doing the marker base, so I get that right, you know. But today I just want to use pencils. Go around the ladybug. Her hair's coming off of the page. Oh, and behind my pages, even if I'm not using marker pens, I always put a scrap sheet of paper. It stops me from getting any indentations go through to the next image, which I hate it when there's indentations. Right, I think I've shaded all the hair parts, hopefully. Right, so now I am going to yeah, I'm gonna take my black and go into the areas that I want the darkest. I'm just contemplating then on which order I wanted to do, whether to build it up from the lightest or start with the darkest. I think in this case I'm going to go with the darkest. Right, so these tips, get them noticeable. Right, her hair does have a lot of shape to it, so it's going to be tricky for me. I don't need the hair to look realistic or anything. It just ends up how it ends up when I've finished colouring it. Right, so those bits would be and that bit in there I feel should be dark. Hair does take me a long time, so I believe you can speed videos up and stuff if you don't want to watch it all, or if you're even watching it all. This is a new channel, so I don't expect to automatically get people watching my videos. I did just want to add in some hair texture. I don't want it to be left like a blob on her head, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but at the same time, like I said, I'm not bothered if it looks super realistic or anything like that. It just needs to look like it's hair. This bit will be dark because it's behind her face. Just want to add a little. Trying to make it so I don't get my hand in the way of seeing where I'm colouring, but it's a little bit difficult sometimes because I often change the angle in which I have the paper, which I've got to have it straight so you can see. Normally I often colour it a little bit tilted when I need to get into certain areas. Right, I'm just going to add some randomness. I don't know what I'm doing. It just feels right to add it where I'm adding it. And this isn't how it's going to fully end up. I am going to add another colour in to blend the darkest blacks with the lightest area. And I will also add some of that yellow that we've used previously. Don't know how this bit would go. Be sort of like this. Like I said, hair is difficult to see which way like parts would go, because it looks like the centre of the hair is here, but then at the same time that didn't make sense for it to go wee, because this bit is going around. So yeah, it's gonna have its ugly stage, and hopefully it won't stay its ugly stage. Just sort of black out the area that I'm not sure on. And go from there. That's all I can think of really doing. It needs to be a bit darker. Right, feel like that's a decent enough top to her head. I've got to figure out these bits. This bit sort of speaks to me as just going round. This bit, I feel like I need to sort of block that off like that. I think that looks okay, hopefully. And now I feel like that probably wasn't hair, but it is now. So just deal with it, I will. Although she would have hair at the back of her neck, wouldn't she? So yeah, I'm just gonna, well, it'll have to stay now anyway because it's black, but yeah. Because that bit would be going round there, it just doesn't like line up as evenly, so maybe if I add a little bit on it. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's do it this side as well, because then it's even, isn't it? Yeah, I think that looks okay now. To me anyway. You're probably like, what are they doing? It looked fine, or you probably said to me before, like, oh no, that wasn't hair. Right, I'm just going to sharpen this so I have a little bit more of a point again. And I'll go in on the pigtails. Right, so this would... Sorry, I've gone into focus mode again, haven't I? Because I'm used to just listening to music while I colour. Obviously I'm not doing that because I can't. I wish I could, but then like the video won't be able to be put up on YouTube, and then like what would be the point? It's a shame really, isn't it? But it's obviously understandable. Can't believe that summer is almost over, and it doesn't even feel like we've really had summer. So it's like we had some nice weather in June, and then pretty much rained throughout the whole of July, although I was on holiday for some of July, so that was good. We had really nice weather when we were on holiday, and then came back to it being rainy again. So yeah. And then August has had its days, but I think we're used to having like a couple of weeks in a row where it like doesn't rain in summer. Like I remember, like I get like past photos, memories come up, and it's like the grass is all died because we've had 2 weeks without no rain, and yeah, none of that this year, none of that at all. Right, I'm gonna go in, and I know this bit will be a bit darker because it's underneath that part. I do like how this is turning out. I was a bit worried about colouring on camera, whether I could actually sit here and colour without taking like a million breaks, because normally I would colour the skin, have a break, colour the hair, have a break, and yeah, that's another reason why I take so long to colour, because I like to take breaks and I overthink things. I know I overthink what colours to do things, but like a minute ago when I was thinking about eye colour, I just, because I was filming, I just sort of thought I wanted green, so I looked up the green so I wouldn't waste any time and just picked it. Whereas if I wasn't videoing this, I would have sat there for like 10 minutes thinking about, oh, I want it green, but which one of these shades of green should I use? So yeah, that is like a benefit, I guess, from doing it as a video. Right, go in with this top part. Just black. I'm gonna go with. Now this is where I would normally tilt the book, and so I might struggle here. Sorry if you can hear like that in the background a minute ago. It's my air freshener. It just goes off every like 30 minutes. Keep the room smelling nice. I'm gonna just do that. I hope that looks okay. Right, so now this bit can join onto that. Let's start at this end, give her a little flick. did just go, didn't I? I didn't know if I did that out loud or not. It's weird when that happens though, isn't it? Like, you're just doing something and you're like, did I just say that out loud? Or was that in my head? I'm not sure if this bit I want to be dark. I think in here needs to have a bit of dark. Keep wondering, am I leaning into the camera frame? I'll have to check that one after I've finished, because again, I'm not used to colouring details like this so far away from the page. I normally lean my head in a bit and get right in there, see the details. So if you see a little head, then sorry about that. Hopefully it wasn't there, but I did lean in a bit then. Right, now onto the other side of her hair. I'm just going to sharpen this to get a fresh point. Right, this bit's going to be dark because I said so. Everybody's brain works differently, which is why we always end up colouring things differently. Like, people might not see this as the shadow. People might see it as, oh, that's where the light's coming from. And then the page will look completely different. I just love seeing everybody's different ways of colouring. Like, some people can simply just add colour and be done. Although I can't do that. It's nice seeing other people do it. Probably gonna go into focus mode again. There's nothing I can do about that. It just happens without even thinking about it. A bit dark. This side's a bit more difficult in knowing where the shadows are, so I'm going to come down here and do the part which I sort of know. Try not to lean in too far again. Feel like that. Needs to be like that. Does anybody else struggle with black hair? Because I'm guessing I'm not alone. this bit I'm not sure how to colour it. I'm hoping it'll just look right. Although once I add the other colour in, you're not going to see as many of the lines anyway. This side is looking a bit darker than the other side. That's fine. Then I'm not sure how to colour this bit. And that looks okay. I feel like that needs to be a little bit darker there. Maybe once I've added the other colour on, it will sort of blend it together. But now I've got to think, what other colour do I want to add into it? And I'm thinking of blue, but first I'm going to add a little bit of this yellow into the highlighted areas. I probably should have done this before adding the black. Oh no, it's fine. Just add it in some of this lightest areas. Because it's going to get black on the pencil. That's what I'm thinking. I should have added yellow then the black. But it's kind of giving that a nice effect anyway. And I'm not pressing down too hard with this, so that's probably why it's okay. So that's a little bit of yellow in there, a bit there. The bits that look too white is where I'm putting the yellow. And now I'm going to get a blue, but like a dark blue. And sharpening. Right. This is Indigo Light. And I'm just going to, ooh, sharpened it too much, pressed down too hard. Just going to sort of go over the black and bring it out slightly. So it might look a bit blue, but again, it's fine. It just adds a little bit more, I don't know, depth, contrast, detail to the hair. I can't think of the right word. Yeah, I like adding another colour to black hair. It's fine to leave some of these areas still white. And this will be quicker than what I did with the black. I already know where I've added my shadows. I sort of just blend those shadows with the highlights as well, because you have, I call it the middle colour. These back bits a bit more solid. So it may end up looking slightly blue in areas, but like I said, I'm fine with that. Thinking, did I lean in too far again then? Just giving this a little sharpen. Oh, I may have put too much of a point on that. Have to press lightly. I do like her hair with this blue in it there. And in the areas again, after I've added the blue, I will get my black again and just deepen up some of the bits that went a bit too light, like here. I feel like that needs to add the black back in and swoosh it out. To start with, I didn't know how much detailing I wanted in the fringe, and I don't think I added enough. Now onto this side. I do love this colour though, with a little bit of yellow that peeking through. I think it works well. am pressing a little bit harder in certain areas. Just added a little bit throughout this part. Again, I still don't know how to get that bit looking right, but it can stay like that because I think it looks okay enough, you know. Alright, and now take my black back again. You might not even be able to see what I'm doing here, but just in certain parts I feel like it needs to be deepened up. I think this side's pretty much okay. It was mostly the fringe that I wanted to sort out, like this area. So I think I just need to maybe get a lighter colour in to blend that together. It looks okay, doesn't it? Might leave it, don't want to ruin it. Just get little flicks onto the ends of these because I like flicks. And yeah, I'm just going to go over the very highlighted areas with my white. Just to sort of blend them in. This won't take long at all. I'm not pressing down hard, I just want to swoosh my colour out. Into focus mode. Sorry about that. Right, and that is her hair coloured. And now for her hair bubbles, I think I'm going to do it the same colours that I did her lips. So I'm just going to take these, just colour it all over. Spice red. I love this spice red colour. And then I'm going to add a bit of black, but I'm not pressing down hard with the black. going to take my light red again. Oh, it's cherry pink. And I don't want any light really on these. Yeah. Just go in, sort of block colour them in. But I've also got the shading in there, so it's fine. We'll just go over that bit. That's those done. Very quick and simple, that part. Alright, I think I'll take a break now. So the next time, well, it'll probably be like a couple of minutes. Well, a couple of seconds for you. But for me it might be like an hour or two, maybe longer, depending if I get into anything else. So for you it's only been a couple of moments, but for me it's actually the next day. I took a very long break. Yeah, I just got into doing other things, and I noticed down here that she actually does have a couple of fingers visible, so I've gone in and coloured those. And I also have to apologise, my light was in a really bad angle and it was making all of the hair glare when I was colouring it in. So I've fixed that and hopefully it will be okay now. So I'm going to go in and start colouring the dress, which I think I'm still going to stick to Ladybug colours with the red and black, but I'm going to do my shadows first with this indigo light. I'm just going to focus on this top part to start with, and then like I did with the hair and the face, it doesn't end up looking this blue, although this blue is quite a nice blue. I'm just going to make the red look deeper where I've put the blue. So let's see how this looks. Get my reds back out, the spiced red. There's my darker red. And you see it turns even darker, which is really gonna give it a really nice shadow. Just got to try and make sure I don't go over the dots. I know they're going to be black anyway, but I prefer to not go over them. We've actually had some nice weather over this weekend, which has been nice after all that rain we've been having. Although with it coming to the end of summer, you can't, we're probably not going to get much more of it anyway. Probably just all turn to rain soon. But at least then you have the nice changing of the colours for the trees. Go in with my cherry pink. Called cherry pink, but I think it's definitely more on the red than the pink side. I have just gone over that. Oh well. I find that when colouring red and you want shadows, it's always easier to use a blue or a purple. Purple works the best, but certain blues, like this one that I'm using, I think work just as well. I'm going to take my black and just add the very darkest shadows. So underneath here is probably would be darker. Just come around there a bit. And then I'm just going to go in with, I think my white will be okay, hopefully. Just with these. It has turned it a bit more pink. Might have to go over it again with the red, just to blend it out so I don't have that texture. I probably should have got my blender pencil, but if I'm honest, I don't know where it is. I don't use them that often because I just tend to use the white or the lightest colour that I'm using. So I'll go back over with the red and it should brighten that up a bit again. Yeah, that's worked. Phew! Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't want to add any more layers of colour. But I didn't press too hard with the white, so I think that's why it's okay. And then I'm just going to colour in those black spots. And I'm putting a little bit of pressure down, just because I am just block colouring them black. Yeah, that was her top done. Now, I'm not sure whether to do these ruffles red or black, because then I also have the skirt underneath, which I think I want to do that black. It's just going to be a lot of red and black. I might make these more of a pinky red, just to give it a bit of difference. Which the only difference is I'm not going to use that spiced red anymore. I'm just going to go in with the blue and the cherry pink. So again I'm going to put in where I want the shadows. Whether this works out or not, I don't really know until I've actually done it. Ruffles are always a bit tricky, because if you pick the wrong part to put one shadow, you have to sort of make the rest of it fit in. Well, that's what I find anyway. pressed a bit too hard with that glue then. We'll find out in a bit. Obviously these bits that are curved under are going to be the darkest, but then you're also going to have some shadows on the ruffles, so it's, yeah, it is hard to tell. Once you get going, it's easier as it goes, but I still have to concentrate to make sure I put it in the right place. May have done that a bit wrong, but that's okay. Right. You'd think I was colouring it blue, wouldn't you? Right, I think that's all of the top ruffles shaded. I hope. So now I'm going to take my cherry pink and just go over it. It is going to still look similar to the top, because obviously it is still the red, but that will be a bit lighter in the end after I've blended it with the white, because this is gonna, I want that pink colour that I made earlier after adding the white. Doesn't look like much at the moment, but hopefully, I swear I just hope that it's going to be okay as I'm colouring it. I do love this colour though. I may use a slightly different colour on the ladybirds, but at the same time I really like this red, so I might end up using the same combination. But I also want them to stand out from the red that's going to be everywhere else. But I'll figure it out more when I finish colouring her in. Yeah, that should have been the light part of it, but I messed it up, so that's okay. It's not going to look awful, hopefully. There's that word again, hopefully. It's like my new favourite word. I think I'm going to have to sharpen this pencil. It's getting harder to do a good blend. It's better, much better. Right, so now I'm going to grab my white again. Just blend it all. And then I'll go in with a black to add a few shadows. I still want some of it to be having that little white highlight to them. Because I feel like this would be a different material than the rest of her outfit. I like that because I haven't used that dark red. I can still see a little bit of blue in it. So that will make it a completely different colour from the top, which is nice. I'll be able to tell the difference between the top and this. Need to get rid of that bit again, it's a bit rough. What else? I feel needs a bit of a blend. Right. My black. And this isn't going to go very many places, just those inner corners. See how it just makes it stand out. Just adds a little bit of depth and makes it come alive. Where else do I get these bit there? Bit in there. Yeah, I like that. Let me just make sure it's not glaring again. Oh no, that looks okay. Right. Ooh, bit in there. So next, what is this here? Please don't tell me that's part of her leg. That's her other leg. Back to the skin colours. Luckily I still have them out. Oh my gosh, I always miss some skin. And I already had to do those fingers. Everybody was probably thinking that. I know that's what I do when I'm watching colouring videos. I'm like, and people are like, did I miss anything? And you're just like, yes, I can see an ear or a finger or yeah. So let me find my colours that I used. Bit of pink in there. Bit of this Mars black. And a peach. Oh, I need a little bit of that yellow in there. And then tangerine. And and the white. And get the red off of that white. I don't want that being added to the skin. Just a little bit more. I did add a bit too much peach in this look, but that's fine because it's a bit shaded anyway. That area would be. Right. Now I am going to do her skirt. And yeah, I think I'm going to do that black. So first I'm going to take my black, I am going to sharpen it. Okay, I was just clearing out my sharpener. But again, I am going to use that blue like I did in her hair. That's going to be pretty much dark. It's all being shaded by this cloak. Just going to block that bit in, because I don't. It's going to be quite light, but obviously I still want it to be black. It's going to be very black in there. Right, now I'm going to take this blue, I'm going to sharpen it a bit. I've used it quite a lot. Right, so back to the indigo light. I'm going to add a little bit of that in there, but not too much, because again I want it to be more black than blue. And I will use the white, and I don't mind if it turns a bit grey. Grey skirt's fine as well. Yeah, I'm liking this colour. And I am a lot more focused today because I have to make sure I get the shadows in the right place. Right, now the white. Oh, I just felt it click then. This lead might snap. Just be careful with it. Might not. Yeah, it's definitely snapped, but it's still staying in the pencil, so I'm going to use it as much as I can before it says no more. I don't like to waste it if it's still able to stay in the pencil. Yeah, that definitely wants to come out now. See if I can do this bit and then I'll sort it out. And actually, to these bits I'm going to go back in with my yellow that I've been using and add that highlight colour, because I think that will make it come together when I add the glow. Just add a bit. And then to these light bits of the skirt as well. I think that would look nice. I didn't add any to the top though. I don't think it's going to show it because I did quite a block colour in this, but it's there. Oh, I didn't put any in that bit. Or that bit. Obviously I'm not paying attention, am I? Yeah, that'll do. Right. Whew. Next there are the socks, which I think I also want them to be black, because this cape's going to be red. Yeah, black. As well as her gloves, I want to be black. Yeah. So again, I'm just going to take my black and shade where the shadows would be. Right, it's hard to see, is that coming over or is it going under? I'm going to do it as going under. She doesn't have an... Oh, so that leg comes down here. I'm glad I noticed that. That's like the frill of a boot or something there. So that leg is bent and that one goes straight down. So I'm actually going to do this back leg first. That ladybug's going to blend right in with that socks because they're going to have back legs as well. That's okay. It's okay, there's plenty of other ladybirds on this page that'll be visible. This bit's going to be very shaded. Let me just carry on this leg because the line hasn't been fully drawn in. I do need to concentrate to be able to go around the ladybug. And then it's down here. That bit's going to be very dark because it'll be shaded by the cloak and the other knee. But we do have a little glow ball there, but that could be far in the front, couldn't it? Probably gonna go do these glow balls with posca pens anyway. I have a yellow and a white, so that's probably what I'll do. This leg is gonna be pretty dark. That's fine though. Yeah, I really am glad I noticed that this was a leg. So I would have been thinking, what in the world is that? But earlier I was wondering what this section was because I was like, that looks like a wing. And I'm like, but why would she have a wing there? And it wasn't until I started colouring the skirt, that's when I realised. Right, so I'm just going to do this sock first. Get that blue again, indigo. So I do want it to be the same colour as the skirt near enough. Maybe that will make me able to see the ladybird's legs when I colour it in as well, because it won't be, I'll probably just do those legs fully black. I have got a reference picture of ladybirds because I knew what they looked like from the top, but not from underneath. I guessed that they were black, but yeah, I had to double check that. They don't have to look realistic, but they have to be the right colour, you know? Right, and now for the next leg, but first I'm going to take a sip of my drink. So, shading, that bit's definitely going to be, and that's the under part of the leg, so I'm going to do that dark, but then I'm going to make that a bit light, so you're able to tell the difference between that leg and this leg. Doesn't have to be perfect, and then you'd have the knee here. which I'm really bad at colouring these. So that bit I'm going to do a bit darker, but so you can still see that it changes. And this is where it gets tricky because that is a big space and I'm not sure where the shadow will be. So I'm going to follow the shadow that I've sort of done on her leg and hope for the best. I will darken some of this up, but I'm needing to make sure the shadows look like they're in the right place. So that goes up to that will look decent enough. So I'm going to go and darken that bit up. It's this bit here that I'm feeling nervous about. I think that'll work. Hopefully the rest of the image will take away from this knee. Right. Doesn't look that bad for now. Get this blue a bit more sharpened. Oh, that might have been a bit too much. I see this breaking at some point. Try not to press too hard. The thing is, when it's that sharp, it crumbles a lot onto your page. I'm fine if these look more blue. You can have blue or black tights, you know. Tights, socks. Gosh, my mouth sometimes it just spits out the wrong words. And then I'm going to add a little bit of that yellow. Might turn green because there's blue. and then grab my white, which I still haven't fixed. Are you able to see what I'm colouring? I'll just move it up slightly. Hopefully you saw most of that. I'm quite happy with that. And back it out. And that's those socks done. Right, I may go and colour the cape off of camera because I'm just going to do it this colour and it's going to take quite a long time. So I shall pause it here and come back and colour the rest. Right, so I'm back again, but it's been about a week and a half since the last part. I am actually now at my brother's house looking after his cats while he's on holiday. And yeah, this is the only place I could find to set up to be able to film, so lighting isn't good and it's sort of a makeshift table. Like, it's a dressing table where I put, yeah, so this is the best I could do. And as you can see, I have finished her clothing and everything on her, and I've also gone and coloured the background because I didn't think that would be something you would want to sit through watching when I was only doing it like with the blue I had already used and a lighter blue and the black. And then I've gone in and I've started to colour, well, I've almost finished colouring all of the ladybugs and the leaves, but I've left these up here so that I can show you how I coloured them. There's nothing difficult, but yeah, so I'll just finish the page off with you and then it'll be done. And I'm really happy with how this is looking, like I'm really proud of it. And for the yellow, I'm calling them fireflies, glow magic thingies, you know, technical terms. I've just used a yellow posca pen and I'm contemplating whether I want to add a white dot in the middle of them to make it look like they're more like glowy, but I'll see what it looks like at the end, and I might or I might not. So I'm just going to get the colours out that I've been using. I should have already got them out before I started really, shouldn't I? Right, and I'm going to start off by finishing the leaves because they are a bit more simple than the ladybug. Right, so I have the indigo light still. I'm not actually sure how much of this you can see. Oh, that should be okay. Like I said, the lighting isn't very good and it's glary. I can try turning the actual room light on as well, but that might not help. Yeah, we'll go with that anyway and hope for the best, really. I will be here like for a couple of weeks, so that's why I bought this with me, because I wanted to finish it. And yeah, if I left it at home, I don't know how long it would take me to come back and finish it, because at the moment I'm in the mood to be colouring it, but by then I might have started something else. So yeah, I brought it with me, and my filming is just an arm attached to a table, and then I put my phone on it, and it has a ring light that's quite small, so easy travel size really. So I just go in with the indigo light. I'll stop waffling now. And I just put this where I want my shadows to be, like I've been doing for the whole picture. Again, not pressing hard at all. Okay, I'm really happy with these. So I should have shown you how to colour this one, because that one was, I found that one the easiest shape to colour because of the angle it was at. But yeah, these ones are facing sideways and I'm not so good with that. But no matter what they look like, I'm happy. Yeah, being at my brother's house to look after the cats is easier than going back and forth from home, because they actually live closer to where I work, so it just makes it easier in the long run to just stay here. Plus it keeps the cats company, like play with them, feed them obviously, and everything else. Plus they're really cute. Going with the black, very minimal amount of black. Like, I'll add more in a bit if I feel like a certain area needs it, but the leaves won't need much black. Right, and then I have this chrome green, and I'm just going to go over all the parts that I did with the blue and then blend that out a little bit. Again, I'm not pressing super hard, I'm just blending it out. But you find with certain pencils, the colours of them, that they'll sound a bit more scratchy. They're still fine to colour with, they just sound a bit more scratchy on the paper. I don't feel it though. One of the cats is down here trying to get into a cupboard. Like, you're not going to fit in there. Oh, he's really curious. Don't know if this one's going to look much like a leaf when I'm done with it, to be honest. But hopefully. Right, I'm next taking my cadmium green pale, and again just same where I've gone over, just blending it out. Leave a small part white, which is where I'm going to add my yellow. I just realised I didn't do the base layer of this green all over this leaf, but it should be fine. With the others I've been doing my light shade as a base colour. Could just do that now, so couldn't I just lightly go over the rest of it? If you hear any sounds in the background, that is the cats. There is one that does like to talk a lot and make sounds, but he has been quite quiet at the moment, so you might not hear anything. So now I'm going in with my yellow and just doing those lightest parts, but leaving a little bit white if I want to. I think that looks more leafy than I thought it was going to. But because with these ones you can't see much of the leaf, whereas these two over here you can see quite a lot. And now I'm just going to do the same again with that other leaf, but this time I will remember to put the whole base layer down. It's not much anyway, but just make sure that's straight. There we go. So back in with my indigo blue, indigo light. Oh, does it not even have blue in them? I've been called in the indigo blue, I think. Now I've used this colour, I think, in every part of the shadow, and that's what made me colour the background with that colour, because it made sense that if everything has this colour in, then it's going to be part of the light source, which in this case I've done the evening sky. And then black. There's not going to be much black on this one at all. A bit there. Might get a shadow off of the other leaf maybe. And then the chrome green. Cadmium green light, pale, sorry. I should just read the names, shouldn't I? Instead of trying to remember what they were. Ooh. I've also just realised that I haven't brought the sharpener into the room, so I may need to just run and quickly get that before I start the ladybirds. Well, the ladybug. Because I'm looking across at my reds that I'm using, and they're a bit blunt. And then the golden yellow again. Was it golden yellow that I was using before? Or have I just switched that out? Like I said, it's been like a week and a half. I did some of this yesterday, but I put the colours in the pencil case and there was 2 yellows there, so I'm not sure which one I was using. Hopefully this was the right one. It seems to be the right one because it's looking like the rest. Right, I think I'm happy with those leaves. Maybe do a little bit dark there because it's just the end of the page, isn't it? And yeah. Right, I'm just quickly going to get the pencil sharpener. It's not far away, I'll be quick. Right, I have it. So just excuse the sound of the sharpener for a moment. Oh my gosh, this drawer just opened on its own. I don't think it shuts properly. It's got one of those soft closes to it. But that was kind of freaky. Yeah, for these ladybugs, I did look up a reference image of a ladybug with its wings open because I hadn't actually seen one in detail before. Obviously, I've seen a ladybug fly, but you can never normally look at them for too long while they're flying because, well, they fly away. Right, now that I have all my colours for my ladybug, I'm going to colour this little guy and hope for the best. The ladybugs are what I coloured yesterday, so I'm still fairly certain I know how I was colouring these. Again, in with this indigo light for the shadows, but unlike her clothing, I am using a different red. I'm still using the, is it spiced red? Yeah, spice red for the darker red, but I'm now using a different main colour red. Just because I didn't want these ones that are actually on her to get lost in her clothing. So now this is a spiced red. I say spiced red, it's actually just spice red, but spicy. I hope this isn't getting too much of a glare from the light. I know it's not the best lighting situation. Bringing that out a bit. Yeah, I found that with their wings they still had a, it's like a, well, they're transparent with a bit of shadowing on them, but I thought it was a nice touch to add a bit of red and then the yellow that I've been using as there's fireflies around. The other red I'm using is the scarlet red. It's brighter than the cherry pink that I was using. So I'm just going to go over that like I do when I'm blending. It sounded really weird. I'm just going to leave part of it so I can go in with the yellow. just a lot of red and black on these. They're not difficult at all. Once you've done like the first one, you sort of are like, oh, okay, they look difficult, but I can do that. And then the yellow, and this just gives it that orangey yellow part, but without making it too much. Like, you can still tell it's a red ladybug. I keep saying ladybug, but I actually call them ladybirds. It's just because the page is called Ladybug, I feel like I have to call them ladybugs. And then the black for the dots. Obviously you could have done these ladybirds different colours, because you can actually get them in various shades of reddish orange colour, but I don't know if it's classed as a ladybird still, but you can get the yellow and black ones, which, yeah, I wouldn't want one of them around, but yeah. Are they actually still classed as ladybirds, or have they got a different name? Why are they called ladybirds? I have no idea. No idea at all. I'm just going to colour this underbelly bit black, just solid black, as well as the legs. I'm going to leave a slight part of it still white. But yeah, just go in black. Those two legs are too close together, it's hard to colour them different. Right, actually that's part of that leg. What in the world is that? I'm just going to colour it black, and it's just, I think it might be part of the underbody? I don't know. But yeah, when I was looking these up, the bodies are mostly black, but there are some white patches on them, like here. I don't know if they're actually eyes or if they must be eyes, right? I don't know. But yeah. Seems right. And this bit. I can't even look up my reference photo because it's on my phone, which I'm using to film. Looking at the other ladybirds, this bit's black, but I might leave some of those white bits on that bit as well. I don't know. I don't think there is, but just go in black and hope for the best. Some bits slightly lighter because they would be, right? That looks okay. Don't know if it's right, but it looks okay. Right, and then these wings, just gonna go in a bit of black. Might put a bit of detail in that wing. This wing's hard to see, so I probably just do a bit of red in that and then go on there with the yellow. It's this one I can actually do what I was doing. The other one's a bit. Still don't need a lot of colour in it. Yellow, just to blend it out. It just makes it so it's like not white space anymore. And I am going to add a bit of yellow into this to blend it. But not too much, else it will just pull the black out, and then what was the point in leaving the highlight? I have missed a slight part of that there. Right, and then I'm going to take my white and just blend that out so it's smooth. Didn't really need it on that bit, but... And then you have this black body at the back, but it does have a bit of the red in, right at the bottom. I've seen on the reference images, so I just add a bit of the red in, and then I use the black. And the yellow. Just a little bit more black under there. And I think that is done. Bit of hair there. And that is how I've been colouring the ladybirds. So I think I actually will go in with this white posca into these yellow. You might not be able to even see it, the difference, but I'll know the difference. It gives them a bit more of a glow. I am going to have to just lean across a minute. Hopefully not put my hand in any of these, which would be nice. I'll probably miss one. It sounds like something I would do. But yeah, I wanted to add the yellow because I've added the yellow as my lightest colour for them all on the whole page, which means to me that there has to be a yellow light source. That one was a big one. I wasn't sure if that was actually supposed to be one, but I did it anyway. With that bigger one, I might go over it with pencil, just to like the yellow pencil, to make it so it's not so much standing out. But yeah, I think that is my page done. Let me see if you can see it all. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this. Sorry again for the bad lighting. I'm not even sure if you're getting a good finished look at this, but hopefully I will be uploading to Instagram, so you'll be able to see it without the glary light all over it, hopefully. Might have to wait until morning to take that photo, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching as I colour this Ladybug page from the Mythical Hybrids special of Colour in Heaven, illustrations by Jash Lee. And yeah, good job I didn't close that properly. I forgot I just done posca paint pen. But yeah, so until I upload another video, I hope you are having a good end of summer. And until next time, goodbye.